I'm super happy to be here and talking about two of my favorite softwares. Obviously, Grist is number one, but n8n was number one before Grist came. So I will first introduce myself, then talk about workflow we've been setting up for a small city. And yeah, I'm going to share my screen first. Oh, I cannot share my screen. The icon is disabled. I don't know. Yesterday it was working well, obviously. If I hover the icon, there's a forbidden signal, and I cannot click the icon.
Let me see here.
Yeah.
Okay, it says you have permission.
Oh.
Double check this.
Maybe if I disable my camera. Ah.
You see it now? Oh, that's strange.
I think we're good if I don't put my video. So can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Oh, I cannot hear anyone. Yes. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. All right. I will leave.
Okay. So let's go. We only have. Okay, it's 4 o'clock. We have 30 minutes in total, so I will try to keep 5-10 minutes of questions. I titled the presentation Grist for Orders and Invoicing because it's a use case that could be applied to many. You will see it's about wood management, but it could be applied to many other cases of ordering, placing orders and creating invoices and sending them by mail to people. So I'm working for the National Agency for Territorial Cohesion, which is an agency of the French government. We are providing support and helping municipalities and local authorities with resources, expertise, funding programs. And we also have a joint team which is called GristGov, with people from ministries, and we provide civil servants of other ministries to resources to use Grist. So we have several self-hosted instances, but we also wish to promote the use of self-hosting for local organizations to create kind of a resilient ecosystem of Gristers across all France, all the public sectors in France specifically. And thanks a lot to GristLab for the invitation. I'm very glad to be here and very glad about the collaboration too. It's quite unique in France that we collaborate with an American team on free software. So it's been very nice, and I appreciate that. Let's go straight into it. This is a photo of the commune of Labat. It's a small city of 800 inhabitants in the mountains of Vaud. They contacted us because they have a traditional system of managing wood, forest wood. They have a communal forest. It's a forest that is managed and handled by the city town, the town hall, sorry. The communal forest, so it's a common good. It belongs to the local community. And every year they ask the resident of the city, are you interested in having in collecting some of this forest wood for your personal use, so to heat your home, basically? And the people, the families can say, yes, I'm interested, or no, I'm not interested. If they are, they will receive, they will be delivered, or they will go in the forest to collect the wood. So it's a bit a niche of use case, but it's really still in use in many cities in France. So it can be deployed to many other municipalities. It was a bit of mess and a pain for the secretary of the town hall of Labas to handle the process of ordering wood and managing the wood, the Afroise wood. It's called Afroise, the system, because he is alone to manage it. There are not many inhabitants, but it's a process that is long because she has to send in the mailboxes of people a paper, a form by paper, in every mailbox of every house. In this paper, they are asked, do you want wood? What is your contact information? How many members are in your family? And bring us back the paper. So when the paper is filled in, people will bring back the paper to the city hall. We see here in the middle a big city hall, but as you can imagine, it's a very small city, so it's a small city hall, and she has many other things to do than putting all the info from a paper to an Excel sheet, but that's what she was doing. And then from the Excel sheet, she was creating invoices, and she was emailing individually each invoice to each family, so they can pay for the wood and then later receive the wood. They contacted us. We said, okay, we have Grist, and Grist, we're sure, can help us. We want to create something with you, and we also use another tool, which is called n8n. So I think we must say not mention, but I'm going to say n8n. And n8n is an automation tool. I will explain to you in the second part of the presentation. And we also use the software Brevo for to ease the process of mailing. It's just a mass mailing software, so we can use it to send many mails to people. The first part of the presentation, I will just break down what we did in the Grist document for the process of ordering. We basically, instead of having a paper sent and paper brought back, so we will use a Grist form to collect the orders of every resident. Then in Grist, it will become the document will become a management system for orders and invoices. We will create custom invoices, and then we will use n8n and Brevo to send these invoices to the resident. This, I just want to say, this has already been tested, and the secretary is so happy. It has made her gain so much time, and she also made many errors with the previous system with Excel, because there was manual updates, and as you know, in Excel you cannot type the columns, you cannot really structure the database. So she's really glad with this system. I simplified it and translated it in English, so it's easier for us today. But her Grist, her document is a bit more complicated than that. Can I put it like this, maybe? Okay, so we have three main sections in the Grist. We have the order section, which will allow us to send the form. It's where we design the form and we send it. We will send it to people. We also added, but I don't know if we will have time to show it today, but we added the fact to send a confirmation email. So when every person will submit the form, they will receive an automatic email. We did that also with n8n. This is a static email that they receive, and it's basically saying, okay, good, we've registered that your order has been placed and that you want some wood. Then we can obviously view and manage the orders that are received via the form. Then we have a section for invoicing and payment. So we will begin for orders. We've created a nice form. We just used what she had before, and except that she printed it, and now it became a Grist form. So the form says, okay, dear sir, madam, you are asked to reserve your plot of wood for the year coming. It's a bit specific here because it's not the people who decide how many cubic meters they will have of wood. It's the city hall. But in many cases of ordering, you will have to ask on the form what quantity the person want to order for the item you propose. Here, it's not the case. And we have the civility, the name of the person, the first name, the street name, phone, email, etc. We also add in the form a bit of data processing. What we do with the data. When the person submits the form, first, to send the form to many people, we use a custom widget that has been created by a member of our community who is a very expert in Grist and very nice person. He created this widget that allow you to input a sender. So it will be used if people want to respond to the mail. And it's based, if you open the right panel, the customization panel, you see that the widget is based on the table, a source table, which is the resident list. So here, the city hall will keep updated the list of every inhabitant of the city with their contact. And here we have an email column with the mail of everyone. And as the widget is configured to map the mail column of this table, the custom widget allows us to directly collect all these emails. I can also add more emails manually if I want. I type the subject of the mail. I paste the form link because I want to share the form I just created. And then when I click create email, it opens my client mail, and it has already put all the recipients of the mail, and I can just send the mail to everyone. So it's just a small, a small custom widget, which is very practical. And actually, we've integrated this widget as a native widget in the French instance because it's very useful. So, okay, when we send the email, everyone fill in the form, and we receive the data that has been submitted in a table that is called order. The order number is a formula that is incremented automatically. So you see with a letter, the year, and a number that is +1 on each new row. And we get, obviously, every information that was displayed in the form. From here, when the order period, sorry, the period, when the order period has ended, we just have to copy-paste all the order numbers in a table which is called invoicing. So I will put it in small for now. And in this invoicing table, you see that we get the order number. We also create an invoice number. It's the same formula than for the invoice number than for the order number, just with a different letter. And we have, we must manually input the quantity of food that that is attributed to each person, the price of the wood, unit price, the total price is calculated according to the tax rate on the wood. Sorry. And we have a total price that will be displayed on our invoice. We also add a payment deadline, issue date, etc. So as we have a reference to the order table, we obviously can get all the information about the person automatically reported from the source table, the reference table. Now, what we wanted to do is to create a customized invoice. I'm gonna do it. A customized invoice to display all this info and being able either to print it or to send it by email. That's what we want to do. Create a custom invoice. We've done a template, HTML template. So it's basically saying the design of the document, where is the title, where is the table with the prices, etc. And in this template, we've put some variables. Variables are the dynamic elements that will correspond to every people we want to send the invoice to. We can recognize variables because they are in brackets. So this is a separate table with our template of invoice. Then we have a formula that I have hidden here because it's big. So you will see it will. Yeah, it will show here. A formula that will, for each row of my invoicing table, that will map the variables of my template with the data of the row the cursor is placed on. That's how I can get every personalized information. And we can see using the custom widget markdown, not custom, the markdown widget. Oh, no, that's not this one. Must be this one. Yeah. You can see that I have my invoice here. Up, etc., etc. This could be customized as you want. And if the widget, markdown widget is linked to my invoicing table, if I go on different rows in my invoicing table, you see that the name, bill to, and the price will not change because they all have the same quantities, but the name of the person is updated. So that's how we create a customized invoice for everybody. We can print it if we want. We click on the three dots at the top right of the view. We can print widget. And if I want, I can save it as a PDF. That's not what I want to do here. I will just show you the last section very quickly. It's for the payment. Once people have received the invoice and they paid, we also have a view of the table invoicing and payment where we can add if it's paid, if it was a bank transfer or a check, and all the payment information. Okay, so that was the part with just the Grist part. You could use that system just to manage orders and invoices without doing the email automation. Yeah, I just wanted to say that Grist Labs has launched a great feature which is available in the enterprise offer enterprise plan of the Salesforce version of Grist, which allows you to activate email notification natively inside the enterprise, inside the UI directly. So it's awesome. I think we could maybe not use the automation tool, but I didn't test it yet, so I will just show you what I did with n8n. So the goal was we have invoices for each person, but we don't want to save them as PDF individually and send them each of them by email. We want to automate that. So what we did is first we define a table where there will be the static content of the mail we want to send to everyone. So for instance, hello, please find below your invoice for the upward wood. We define the sender and the subject of the mail. And then we need to have a way to tell n8n to start a workflow. So n8n is basically a tool. There are many others, Zapier, Activities, other tools that allow you to connect software with one another. So you can send, through the APIs of the software, so through the interface of communication of each software, you can send data from one database to another. What we want to do here is connect, as we say, we want to connect Grist with our mailing system, which is Brevo. And we will use n8n to do that we call workflow. It's just a way to illustrate a process. And we have a workflow here for our Aquas. What we want to do is each time I decide in Grist that I want to send my in batch all my emails, I will trigger a webhook. The webhook will start my workflow. My workflow will read in Grist the static mail that I've defined. So that's the table I just showed you, where we define the content of the email. Then I want to do a request to Grist to get the content of the invoice itself. So this is the customized part. This is the personal email for each people. And then we have what we called a node in n8n, the connectors for each software are called nodes, and we have a Brevo node, which will be used to send the email. And the Brevo node, we will get the subject of our email. We will concatenate the static part of our email with the dynamic part of our email, which is the invoice. And then we will send it to the recipient that we also get from the previous table. That's basically the workflow that we will follow. I will just show you, okay, 5 minutes. I will just show you how to set up the webhook in Grist so that we can launch the workflow. And we will go until the end to see the mail I received with the personalized data. So the webhook in n8n, you just add, when you add it, it's already here, but I show you. You search for all the nodes. You have the webhook node. When you open the webhook node, n8n provide you with a URL. You copy it, and in Grist, in settings webhooks, you click manage webhooks, and you configure your webhook. In the URL part, you will paste the URL you just get from n8n. And the idea is to trigger an event on a specific action that I do in Grist. What I did to do that is I created a table which is called sending invoice to n8n, and I created a little button which is called send. When I click the button, it will increment the value of this column in this table. So action button, I don't know if you're send to update rows or to add rows to a specific table. You have a formula where you define when the button is clicked. What I want to do is update my column, which is called time sent, and I want to increment it of 1. So I add 1 in this column each time I click the button send. And the webhook, what it does, I've configured it so that each time I update the table envoi facture n8n, and I could have had specifically the column, each time the column timestamp is updated, you will trigger the event. You will post the data to this URL in n8n. So we're going to test it. I'm going to go in n8n. I'm listening for the test event. Now I'm going here in my Grist. I'm going to click my send button. It's updating here the timestamp column. And normally, oh no, normally it would have triggered my event. Alors, sometimes maybe I need to clear the queue. I clear the queue and we go again. So I'm listening for the test event. I'm clicking my button. Yes, okay. I have my data. I can see my workflow has been triggered. So I'm doing now playing each node manually, but obviously when you're in production, each time you trigger the webhook, all the workflow will execute by itself. So the next node that we want to execute is getting the static email. So for that, I have connected with my credential, Grist credential, and I have said to n8n, I want you to get all the rows of this document ID and of this table in this specific document ID. When I execute this, I can see that I get the data that was in my table that I showed you earlier. I get the content, the static content of the email. So I'm happy. It's the first step. Now I want to get the invoice. Same method, except that I'm going to ask to request Grist to give me the billing and payment information. When I execute, I see that I have, well, we can look at it on a table format, but also I prefer on a JSON format. I have all the info for every person I have to send the email to. Okay, so I'm very happy too. And then in my Brevo, what I did is I used the 2 previous nodes to get the info. So I needed the static info. So I used the Grist get static email node. In the content, I used also the first part, the content, the contenu. Sorry, I didn't translate it, but it's the content of the static email. And I also used in the HTML content the last, so the previous node, and I get my PDF formula. My PDF formula is what gives me all the design of my invoice with all the dynamic data. And I sent it to the email of the specific person. So here my column was called mail. So the recipient will be mail. It's just the column I got here. If I check mail, it was here. So when in n8n, just so you know, you have a mail here. You take it, you drag and drop, and you get the value, the expression here directly. If I execute it, I see that Brevo has well received my request, and they have sent many messages. So all the messages corresponding to the invoice. If I check now my email, mm, where are they? Too early, maybe, but weird because it was all successful. So normally this on mail. Did I put my email, my personal email? Yes. So normally here I put my own email in all for all the people. So I must have received 20 mails. Maybe I feel yeah, it's here. Okay, so as you can see, I received 10 emails. Normally, each person obviously will receive its own invoice, and you have the static part that we define, and you have the invoice for the specific person that was sent. Oh no, 27. Okay, 3 minutes remaining for questions. I'm sorry, but it's okay. I finished all that I wanted to show you. We can obviously go very further, sending back a status error. We could also use a mass mailing request in Brevo instead of doing an iteration over every email and sending each request to Brevo. If you have 1,000 mails to send, Brevo will not like that you send many requests to his API. So there are obviously things that can be better. Yeah, I'm stopping talking and I listen if you have questions.
Thank you so much. Okay, I think we have time for one quick question. Feel free to ask in the chat or raise your hand.
Maybe Nick, I don't know if I missed some question because I wasn't able to see the chat.
I don't think so. Someone's asking
Yes, I will obviously link the demo doc on community forum, and also I will try to detail the n8n. Yes, it's self-hosted n8n in the ANTT. We are doing an experiment. It's not sure that we will keep it. We are not promoting promoting n8n as a tool because it's not really free. They have a specific license, sustainable use license. So, and we are really strict normally on having and supporting free software. So yeah, we just experiment with it for now. The field is called PDF, but the content is HTML. Why? Indeed, the field could have been called, the column could have been called the HTML formula. I called PDF because in the first place, I wanted just to allow her to download the HTML as PDF, but yeah, right. If you have questions that come later after the conference, you can obviously ask me on the forum, French forum or community forum. It would be a pleasure. Thank you very much.